Hi, my name is Anais Jackson, and today I will be talking about how we at TriHealth can improve on inclusiveness in the company. I'd like to start off with that today I will be presenting a lot of policies and new ideas that I feel will best help us as a diverse staff to keep it diverse and utmost efficiency in this workplace. So, starting off, with building an inclusive future at TriHealth, I think it's important to look at the members that we have working here. Not only does this affect those that we treat, it also affects those who work here. And, it's shown that teams with diverse members can induce high morale as those who can relate to those around them can find ways to work together. And, and without that ability to relate to each other, there can be gaps in how employees and patients feel included in what we do here. So I expect to give kind of a good and inclusive plan here on how we can make a real change. So, in simpler terms, we do have a lack of diverse roles for things such as leadership, promotional activities, and all around not a very progressive place for especially people of color or linguistic backgrounds or different ethnic backgrounds to feel like they can also succeed at the same rate as their majority counterparts. With this becomes a lot of subconscious what you can call microaggressions that occur. This can be between employers, employees, or managers between products and those working on them. Not only does this affect team chemistry and how we as a whole interact with each other, it can kind of toggle with how different people move up in our business. When there is a bias or microaggression that one has subconsciously, it does exclude certain people from, say, getting a promotional opportunity or moving up in this healthcare world, which can take years to even get to that point. So, with these changes, also you'll see a turnover of staff that will increase, as well as a decrease in burnout. Because, as we know, burnout among hardworking and high stress inducing jobs can be very detrimental to not only those working, but to those that we are serving, aka our patients. So, what can we look at from around the world and what works? All right, from some of the best healthcare providers in the country, say the General Hospital of Massachusetts, they are experimenting and have well implemented things like ERGs and different reforms to their hiring process that have not only increased their effectiveness but increased their team chemistry and patient satisfaction. We've seen other things in even our area that includes training our staff specifically about awareness, about being insensitive, and how a part of the majority can make those around them feel included in not only day-to-day social life, but also in working and feeling involved and important. So, how can we make the shift from not only being aware about the issue to acting on the issue? And this is where I think this plan comes through that I have developed, and it comes in phases. Two phases actually. First, we will develop training plans with our employees, our ERGs. This training will include how to deal with subconscious biases, and this will especially target those in higher positions, such as an HR or those who deal with being the managers or seeing over a group of people, that they can give them new opportunities. This training with them is going to lead to a higher morale among staff, and higher morale among the staff, as you know, will lead to a higher effectiveness as a whole. And we're gonna get down to phase two. Phase two is implementing inclusive hiring forms through HR. So not only do we have to make sure those that work here now are feeling included and feeling a quality of living that they deserve, those that we bring in from now on, so that the future of the company is assured, also should feel this love, So with HR, we will be working on reforms on how we hire, what we hire, the requirements to hire, and the specifications and qualifications needed to hire. Some may be overlooked, not only because of different backgrounds. Say someone from a poorer area may not be able to get into an Ivy League school, or someone from a poorer background may not get to a name brand university. And these can be overlooked, not because of their ability, but because of a surface level name or brand that they have not had the opportunity to represent yet. And that's unfair in many ways, all driving from a systematic system that we don't represent. So it is in our best interest to look out for those who can help us through this process. We're going to start this whole process off actually with an audit. we're gonna scour through this workplace. We're gonna scour through this through our whole facilities, and we're going to look at if we have these problems that are apparent, and if we have these problems that are here now, and we're going to rule them out. We're going to force them out, and we're actually going to assemble what I call a DEI task force to enforce this inclusivity. This will be people from all types of departments and walks of life that work for us, to basically let us know where in the company are we lacking inclusivity, where in the company do we maybe need to slow down and make sure people have the proper qualifications, that we're both sides of the coin, and thus helping us out in general. So it comes the question of what happens if we don't? What happens if we don't take this action? What happens if we do not lead ourselves into improving our workforce and being progressive? So call this a cost of inaction. And I can tell you now what we gain from this. Not only retention of staff, bringing people back to work for us, but the quality of care that we will provide that has been proven in many and many of years with diverse work staff. We'll have an improved reputation as a whole. Those who can come to our healthcare services and feel represented by those who are caring for them intimately will feel the need to come back, tell their friends, this is where you need to go when you have a problem. And basically, there are risks if we do not act now. The risk is, again, employee turnover. Implementing this will have risk. Implementing audits, implementing all this will have risks. One, again, employee turnover, what we'll have available. There may be lawsuits due to the laying off of those who are not in the views of our goals here. It is a risk, as in all changing of faces of any company. And as always, there will be trials and tribulations with this, so there may be a risk of poor outcomes due to unqualified employees. It's a risk that we have to be willing to take in order to get to the point where we can accurately depict those who can effectively work for us. We have to remember that we can choose the future of our company, but not without mistakes, and mistakes are natural. So, in total, what we need to do is lead with inclusion. Yes, we need to catch up with the rest of the healthcare world, but at this moment, we can lead after we adapt. We have to commit to these plans, we have to commit to real change. This phase plan, I believe, will very much put us ahead of other companies that aren't doing it. And then once we get to the level we know we can achieve, we can then take forth steps to get even farther ahead of other healthcare places. Any questions?